Hey, so I was just walking the dogs and I had an epiphany about just the training approach, like my view as a personal trainer, because what I've done for so long. And it's still an approach that I know a lot of trainers don't understand, they don't do it, and that's quite cool because maybe the penny will drop, maybe it won't. But what I do is I take I'll put aside all things like really important stuff like self-image, your positive self-talk, relationships, people you hang out with, affirmations, journaling, because they are super, super important. They're the core of the program. When it comes to training, I take a bodybuilder's approach as opposed to a powerlifter or a triathlete or a sprinter or a runner's approach. And what that means is we're going for looks because you want to be leaner, you want to have more muscle tone. Muscle tone means lose fat and build muscle or maintain muscle. Most diets, you lose fat, water, and muscle. So you get lighter, but you actually get flabbier. So you get fatter, but lighter, if that makes sense. We're looking to build muscle. Now, if you go the bodybuilder's approach, we do multiple sets. So we do like 8 to 12 reps or 15 reps, and we do the exercise back to back, and we do several rounds of these exercises. That's what I call metabolic resistance training. That needs to be done 3 or 4 times a week if you want to be super toned. The body fat always kicks in a long time after the fat loss. If you've got a lot of weight to lose, the body fat doesn't really do a lot to start with. It just gradually get the weight out of the way and the body fat starts to come down. What bodybuilders also do is they do a lot of low intensity, steady rate training, which is like walking, cycling in the gym for an hour, 2 hours. Because when you do that, that's like a fat burn mode. Now, fat burn mode for busy people isn't really going to be relevant because they ain't got time to do fat burn. Bodybuilders will sit on a bike for 2 hours and burn calories at a low rate. When you're asleep, the amount of carbohydrates, the fat you burn are about the same, but the end calorie result is probably for you girls 50, 60 calories an hour. Hey, Timo. It's not a huge amount. When you start walking, you burn a few more carbs, a little less fat. That's when you're in fat burn, but you need to do quite a bit of it. That's why I talk about 10,000 steps. It's about an hour and 15 at 4 miles an hour, which is quite a good pace, which gives you a little bit of cardiovascular benefit, but it's not as much as running or intensity training. That's Timo, by the way. So we look at low intensity work and we look at the metabolic resistance training. Now, instead of what the bodybuilders do, they do a calorie surplus, and there's Tiger, the one she's just coming in, because they want to get bigger. We want to get smaller and leaner. So we do a calorie deficit, and I work off about 25%. Something like Cambridge or Weight Watchers, Slimming World, they work from like 35 to 50%, which I think is crazy because it just causes mayhem with your metabolism. So I work on 25%. I also work on a high protein diet. And when I say high protein diet, unless you've got kidney failure or anything like that, it's not a problem. But it's not 3 fillet steaks a day, nothing else. It's introducing a lot more protein in diet, as in making protein the main source of everything you eat. Because guess what? Protein stops you getting hungry. It maintains and helps build muscle mass. And you burn 40% of the calories ingested from it just by eating it. You don't do that with carbs, about 4%, and with fat is about 0.5%. And there's Timo again. So we've got high protein diets, we've got a calorie deficit, we've got a bodybuilder style routine, and we do lots of low intensity cardiovascular exercise. Well, it's more aerobic, which is walking at 4 miles an hour, because you can still get health benefits and heart benefits from a 4 mile an hour pace. And that's kind of the basis of my program for you girls to get the shape you want, tone, lose fat, be toned up, be healthier, and be fitter. But we did with the cardio the other night was if you want to be super fit, then you work hard on the cardio for longer periods of times, like you run 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, or you do high intensity interval training like boot camp, sprints, CrossFit style workouts. The only thing you remember there is though, with a lot of this, you want to be able to do something you can maintain for a long period of time. Now, if you do a very, very intense style of workout, and I've done it with boxing and CrossFit, sooner or later, you're going to burn out, you're going to break, you're going to get run down, you're going to get sick. It has a short shelf life. So just remember, the more intense the workout, the more recovery and the more programming you need. But if we do the one I recommend, walk for an hour and 15 every day, it can be 2, 3, 4 blocks, whatever, 1 hour and 15 or more, at a steady pace, 4 miles an hour, 110 heart rate, 115. And you do 3 to 4 metabolic resistance style exercises like Kate does at boot camp. You do 4 of those a week for 30 minutes, then you're going to get the desired effect you want, and you'll be able to maintain that for life at whatever age you are. But when you go to the other end, and this might be something you do in the future, you might want to run a half marathon, a marathon, compete in Ironman, Tough Mudder. I've done Tough Mudders, they are tough. Then you have to train much harder. More chance of injury, more chance of getting run down, more chance of broken. And if you do that, less chance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Now, does that make sense? I hope it does, because I was thinking about this as I was walking. I just want to get across, other than all the other stuff we talk about, like stress and journaling, etc., and self-image and mindset, that's the basis of the training. So, low intensity walking, 4 miles an hour, and 15 plus. Metabolic resistance training, so 8 to 12 to 15 reps. You do like 4 sets and you repeat them 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and you work from the major body parts, the bigger lifts like push-ups and pulls and rows and presses, etc. High protein diet and a slight calorie deficit. That is exactly the way to get you in shape. And consistency and persistency. I hope that makes sense. That's just my thoughts on a Friday afternoon walking the dogs on the training side of things. Have a wicked weekend.